everyone. Today we are going to do this cute transfer exactly as you are. Super cute. We're going to do that on a box frame. This is a 5x7 box frame. There will be a cart link on how to get all of these goodies that we used here today. As always, I will put it in the description of this video. I love how they package our box frames so that they are protected. This can sit on a shelf, like the one behind me, or it can be hung up if you want, but remember that it is double-sided, so you'll want to be careful with that. Alright, setting that off to the side. Now, with our wood surfaces, you definitely want to make sure that you wax, because wax is porous. And so here's a little tip for you. This is our wax applicator. You can see I've used this a lot. I use the side that does not have the tag to put the wax on, and the side with the tag to buff the wax off. One of the reasons why I do that is so that, one, I know I'm not trying to buff off wax with wax that's already on there. So we don't want to do that, obviously. So you want to go with the grain of the wood. What's awesome about our box frames is these can be painted, stained, sanded down, redone over and over and over again. Now just keep in mind though that if you're going to paint it, you don't want to wax it first, because the paint will not adhere to that wax. That wax will just peel that paint right off. So there is that little tip as well. Now you want to keep your packaging and your backer sheet, because this is reusable, and on the back it tells you all your care instructions. And with our new transfers, our backer sheets are glossy on both sides. So as a Chalk Couture designer, I have come up with a way to make sure I know exactly, one, how this is going to go back on its backer sheet, but two, so I know what side it needs to go on. I always write on the back of my backer sheets. Now, if you don't want to write on them, you can just put a sticker, maybe a piece of tape, something so you know that that is the back. I always write what the name of the transfer is, and then I do top and I do a dash. I do that so I know how many uses I'm getting out of it. So I'm going to fuzz this using our fuzzing cloth. I like to move the transfer around a lot on the fuzzing cloth, just so that it's grabbing the different fibers of the fuzzing cloth to kind of take that stickiness away. The stickiness will come back once you wash the transfer. Now, if you have a transfer and it's no longer sticky, there's another tip for you, that, or another trick that you can do. You can take a disinfectant wipe, any brand will work, and you can wash it on the back side of it, like wipe it down, let it dry just ever so slightly, and then stick it back on its backer sheet. That will keep the stickiness, and it'll make the stickiness not go away, and you can reuse it. Also, you want to put it back on its backer sheet slightly damp after you've washed it, because then it keeps that stickiness there. So now we're going to buff this wax out. We're just going to use black velvet on this. Now you could do whatever you want. You can see this fits perfectly on our box frame. This will work on a board and base. This will work on so many different surfaces as well. Grabbing out a squeegee. You just want to pull a little bit of the chalk paste on the squeegee and start just off that silk screen, pulling it toward you. Pulling it toward you makes it a little bit easier to use it. Now you can go away from yourself if that makes it if you are easy, you know, it's easier for you. If it makes it easier for you, I always go toward myself, because then I can kind of see what I'm doing, where I'm going, and all of that. Now it also depends on just how you want to do it. Now you can go side to side with our chalk paste. You cannot do that with ink. With ink you can only go in one direction, either up and down or side to side, but I never recommend side to side, because if your transfer or stencil is not adhered down properly, then it will pull up and you will have bleed. So if you go over top of it with your squeegee first, making sure it's on there nice and tight, it's going to not bleed So, of course, you don't want that to happen with your ink, because ink is semi-permanent, and that could be a problem. So grabbing the transfer and pulling it from the center toward you, and there you go. You have another awesome Chalk Couture design. I love this. I think it's super, super pretty. In black and white. Now you can do it in any color you want. You can always add to the cart link or take away from the cart link. Just keep that in mind. And it'll go from a glossy finish to a matte finish, and that's how you know it's dry. Now, if you don't have a quick dry tool, you can always use a hair dryer, or you can use, let it just kind of sit and let it air dry. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please, if you are not a Chalk Couture designer, click that SHARE button. Spread the love for me. And if you are not in the club, you'll want to find out about club. There will be a link on how to join club in the description of this video. Have a fabulous day.